Friends, we are making a fast revision of appointment and qualification of director, including all amendments. Okay, so when amendment comes, I will highlight that point. Okay, so this is the first section is section 149. Section 149 is mainly stating that every company should have at least every company should have what? Directors must be individual. Okay, so this is the first section, or this is the first part that is stating. Section 149 is stating that every company should have directors who is individual. So in case if it is a one person company, at least one director. If it is a public company, at least 3 director. If it is a private company, at least 2 director. So the next question, what is the maximum number of director that a company have, irrespective whether it a public company or private company? The maximum number is 15. So next question, can the company enhance the number of directors from the 15? Yes, by passing special resolution in general meeting. So first point is stating that every company should have director who is individuals, plus in case if it is a public company, minimum 3. In case if it is a private company, minimum 2. The maximum number of directors in a company is 15. The same can be enhanced by the by passing what? A special resolution in general meeting. Okay, then next, what is this? It is a lady, right? So women director, it is stating about women director. Every company, it means every listed company shall have in a women director, at least one women director. So at least one women director should be appointed by, sorry friends for the interruption. So the next is stating that every company which is a listed company should have what? At least one women director. Okay, so it should have at least one women director. Then the next question, is it applicable to the unlisted public company? Yes, this is applicable, but for the private company it is not applicable. Unlisted public company subject to some condition: paid up share capital 100 crore or more, turnover 300 crore or more. In that case they also required what? Women director, because they are having what? Huge amount in their hands, so there should be a lady for managing it properly, right? So that's why it is stating that every listed company and other unlisted public company which is having a paid up share capital of not less than 100 crore, turnover not less than 300 crore, should appoint what? A women director. Okay, then next is what? RD, that is resident director. What is the meaning of resident? Who is in India for a period of not less than 182 days. In tax we are using financial year, but here it is only what? Calendar year, in the preceding calendar year, right? So resident director means a person who is in India, who is a that is a director should constitute what? A resident director. Resident means a person who is in India for a period of not less than 182 days during the preceding calendar year. Then 149 subsection 4, it is stating that independent director. What is the meaning of independent director? Director other than what? Who is an independent director? That is my next question. Whom we can treat as what? Independent director. Who is not what? Who is not a managing director, who is not a whole-time director, who is not a nominee director, plus who fulfills certain conditions, right? So section 1, then next question is it required to appoint independent director in all company? In listed company, total number of directors, out of that 1/3 should be independent director. Unlisted public company, check each aspect. Paid up share capital equal to more than 10 crore, turnover equal to more than 100 crore, loan borrowing deposit debenture more than, this is only what? More than 50 crore. In that case they should have at least 2 independent director. So for listed company, not less than 1/3 should be independent director, that is not less than 1/3 of the total number of director, at least 1/3 should be independent director. In case that is unlisted public company, if the paid up share capital is equal to more than 10 crore, turnover equal to more than 100 crore, loan borrowing deposit debenture more than 50 crore, is required to appoint at least 2 directors as independent director. Then vacancy. Vacancy means it shall be filled by the board of directors in the next board meeting or 3 months from the date of vacancy, whichever is later. The same is applicable. Okay, then declaration. Who is required to file such a declaration? Independent director is required to furnish such a declaration. When they have to furnish that declaration? At the first meeting of the board meeting. in which they participate as a director. Suppose they have been appointed as a independent director as on 1st April 2018. In that case, which is the first board meeting that is holding after their appointment, or that is going to held after their appointment? In that case, they have to file what? A declaration. That is declaration stating that yeah, I am independent. Then every financial year, it means that board at the first meeting of the board of directors in every financial year, that is after 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 22, there will be exist what? Board meeting. If they are the independent director, in that case also they have to issue a declaration stating that they are independent. Then change in circumstance. What is this? Change in circumstances affecting the status of independence. What? Change in the circumstances that is affecting the status of, change in circumstances that is affecting the status of independence. What is means? Suppose in the previous year they have provided that they are independent, but in the next year or during the current year some changes has been happened in the circumstance, so it is creating or it is casting a doubt in others, that is whether they are independent or not. In that case also they have to file a declaration that they are still fulfilling the conditions of independence. So next is term of independent director. Independent director shall be appointed for one term of 5 years. Next question, is it required to remove or resign that independent director after expiry of 5 years? Answer is, they shall be eligible to reappointment for further 5 years by passing special resolution in general meeting. Then cooling off period is 3 years. That is, after the expiry of the total 10 years, they cannot be appointed in the 11th year. They have to still wait what? 3 years. After the expiry of that 3 years from the from the expiry of his office, then they are only eligible to appoint as the independent director again. That is, suppose they have been completed the total 10 years in 2013 for 14, 15, 16. These are the 3 years in which they cannot be appointed as the independent director. They have to wait what? 3 years. Okay. Then next is what? Who is an independent director? I have already provided a small meaning or given a meaning. That is, independent director means a person who is not what? Managing director, manager, whole-time director, nominee director, plus who possess some qualification. Right? That is, who is not managing director, who is not whole-time director, who is not nominee director, plus having some qualification, ability, experience. They will be termed as what? An independent director. So independent director means a director other than managing director, whole-time director, nominee director, and who possess some qualifications or experience as the board may deem fit. Then it is mainly stating that these are the qualification. The first, the person should be have ability and integrity. They should be straightforward. They should be able to handle the situations. Plus, they shall not be what? Key managerial person or promoter of the company. It is stating that suppose we are going to appoint Mr. X as the independent director. The same X is holding chief executive officer position in the company, or he is the promoter of the company. In that case, same X cannot be appointed as the independent director because it is affecting his status. Okay. Then he is having what? Monetary relation with the company, holding company, subsidiary company, associate company. In that case, or any of the directors or promoters during the current financial year or during the 2 immediate preceding financial year. In that case also they are not eligible to appoint as the independent director of the company. That is, who neither or who is not having pecuniary relationship with the company, holding, associate, subsidiary during the 2 immediate preceding financial year and during the current year. If they are having any of such monetary relationship, they are not qualified to be appointed as the independent director. Then relative. Suppose we are going to appoint X, father of X, who is Y. Okay, Y is having what? Such monetary relationship with the company, which is amounting to 2% of turnover or 2% of total income or 50 lakh, whichever is lower. Suppose they are having any of the transaction which is amounting to these criteria, or that is, yeah, it can be either 2% of the turnover, 2% of gross income, 50 lakh, whichever is lower. In that case we can tell that they are having what, a monetary relationship with the company or promoter director. In that case also they shall not be eligible to appoint as the independent director, because their relative is having what, pecuniary relationship. Then next is, same X is appointed as the key managerial person, employee of the company or of the holding company or of the subsidiary company or of the associate company during the 3 immediate preceding financial year. Did you get? Same is X is appointed as the KMP or employee of the hold company or holding company or subsidiary or associate during the immediate 3 financial years. In that case also X is not eligible to appoint as the independent director, because he is holding the position of officer or employee or KMP in the company. So how can function efficiently and effectively and independently, right? Then next, such a person, that is, we are going to appoint Mr. X as the independent director. Same X is the partner, proprietor or employee of a CA or a CS or CMA, that is providing services to the company, associate, subsidiary, holding. So it is affect what, his work, right? Or he is what, he is no, neither him during the financial year or during the 3 immediate preceding financial year hold the position of a partner, proprietor, or what, employee of a legal consultancy firm. That legal consultancy firm is receiving not less than 10% of the gross turnover of the, yes, that is, they are receiving not less than 10% of their income from our company or company's holding or company's subsidiary or associate company. In that case also the concerned person shall not be eligible to appoint as the independent director. Okay, I will explain you. Suppose we are going to appoint Mr. X. He is Mr. X. Actually he is holding what, key managerial position, or he has been appointed as the employee of the company, suppose of this company. So my question is, can same X is appointed as the independent director? Answer is no, because he is holding the position of what, KMP or employee in the company. The same is applicable if he is holding the position of KMP or employee of the holding subsidiary associate. So a person who is holding the position of key managerial person or employee of the company or of the associate or of the subsidiary or of the holding shall not be eligible to appoint as the independent director of the company. Then next is, this is what, CA firm. This is the CS and this is the CMA firm, that is providing services to company, holding, associate, subsidiary, etc. So he is the partner or what, proprietor or an employee of these association, that is CS, CA, CMA organizations or firm, or it can be either individually they are providing such services to the company or the holding company or to the subsidiary company or to the associate company. In that case any member or any partner, employee or what, proprietor of the said services shall not be appointed as the independent director of the company. The same is applicable if he is a partner or what, proprietor or employee of a legal consultancy firm that is receiving not less than 10% of the total receipt from the company or what, or from the associate, subsidiary, holding, etc. Because they are receiving more than 10% from their concern, so how can they become independent in the company? Okay, this is the so here we discuss what, some of the disqualifications of what, independent director. The next is, then the next is stating that neither himself or relative has or had any what, voting power in the company, that is, which is amounting 2% or more. That is, any of his relative and as well as himself shall not have any voting power in the company. This is what, only in the company. Okay, which is amounting to 2% or more of the total voting power. Then there is a non-profit organization, and we are going to appoint a CEO of that non-profit organization as the independent director of the company. But what is happening here? Such CEO is receiving not less than 25% of their total receipt from the company, or from the associate, or from the holding company, or from the subsidiary, or from the promoters, directors. In that case also, the CEO is not eligible to appoint as the independent director of the company. Did you get? That is, if CEO is of a non-profit organization is receiving not less than 25% of its total receipt from the company, or holding, or subsidiary, or associate, or promoters, or directors, in that case the CEO also not entitled to appoint as the independent director of the company. Then this point we have already discussed. Independent director shall hold office or shall be appointed for maximum one term of 5 years, reappointment for further 5 years by passing special resolution general meeting. On expiry of the said period, they are not eligible to appoint as independent director for a 3-year period. Okay. So next is what? Section 151. Section 151. I hope you remember what is provided in section 151. It is about appointment of directors elected by small shareholder. So first of all, we have to understand what is the meaning of a small shareholder. He is what? A small shareholder. Small shareholder means a shareholder holding shares of nominal value not exceeding 20,000. That is, they can hold shares for a maximum of 20,000. The nominal value should be 20,000 or less than 20,000. It should not be more than 20,000. So here, who is what? A nominee director, sorry, small director, or small share, not small director, small shareholder. Small shareholder means a shareholder who is holding shares of nominal value not exceeding 20,000. Okay, so the next question is, can they require the company to have a small shareholder director? So the first one is that the appointment of director elected by small shareholder, this is only applicable to a listed company. Only listed company shall make the appointment of a director elected by small shareholder. So such an appointment can be either suo motu, or it can be an application which is filed by the requisite number of small shareholder. That is the total small shareholder who is holding shares of not exceeding 20,000. That is a nominal value not exceeding 20,000, come together and they are filing what? An application that we want a director, we want a director, we are small shareholder, at least we should also have what? A small shareholder director. In that case also, the listed company is required to make the appointment of the small shareholder director. So the next question, what is the required number or the criteria? The application shall be filed by either 1,000 small shareholder or 1/10 of the total number of small shareholder, whichever is lower. Suppose there have 20,000 small shareholder. 2,200 is making or filing such an application. 20,000, 110 means 20,000 into 1/10, which is what? 2,000, or 1,000 small shareholder. Here 2,200 shareholder is making the application. In that case also, listed company is required to file an application, because 2,000, 2,200 or 1,000, whichever is, sorry, 2,000 or 1,000, whichever is lower. This is the criteria. In case if 1,000 small shareholders filing such an application, the listed company is required to make the appointment of a small shareholding director. Suppose these are the small shareholder who is making a proposal with the listed company to make the appointment of a small shareholder. They have to issue a notice at least 14 days before the meeting. That is, they have to issue a notice at least 14 days before the meeting. Okay, 14 days before the meeting, that we want a small shareholder director, we are proposing this person, he is also our he is also one of our shareholder, this is his director identification number. As per amendment, DIN is not, that is, it can be either director identification number or any other identification number as may be prescribed. We will discuss it in section 152. That is, there is an amendment that director identification number or any other identification number which is already held by a person, is sufficient to get appointment as a director. Then such notice should contain his director identification number or other identification number, his consent. Suppose they are proposing a person as the director, but the concerned person is not ready or willing to appoint as a director. So it is required to determine whether they are willing or not. It is required to obtain what? The consent. So the consent should be given to the company. Then a declaration that the person whom we are proposing is not disqualified as per section 164 of the Companies Act 2013. That is, they are still possessing all the required qualities to become what? Director of the company. Okay. Then so the next question is that suppose the listed company has appointed a person as a small shareholder director. He is the person. So if a company, that is a listed company, is making the appointment of a small shareholder director, it is assumed that he is equal to independent director. That is, he is deemed to be an independent director. He have to fulfill what? 149 subsection 6. Right? Then such independent director shall hold office for a maximum of 3 years. That is, if the listed company is making the appointment of an independent director, who is Mr. X, he is telling that, yeah, I am the small shareholder director, I have to hold office for a period of 5 years. Is it permissible? No. As per the Companies Act, a small shareholder director may hold office for a maximum of 3 years. Then cooling off period 3 years is applicable. That is, after the expiry of the 3 years, he cannot be appointed as a small shareholder director in the same listed company for a further 3 years. Then it is stating that reappointment provision is not applicable in case of small shareholding director. He is not liable to retire by rotation. Then he is required to vacate his office. That is, he have to resign from the office or he have to vacate from the office in the following cases. Section 164. When any disqualification attract to him. Section 164 is explaining about the disqualification. 167, this is explain the circumstances when they have to vacate the office of director. Then he ceases to independence. That is, we have already discussed that small shareholder director is equal to an independent director, so he should possess all the required qualifications or all the required qualification and some other criteria that is to be maintained by an independent director as per section 149. Suppose if he is ceasing that independent status, in that case he required to cease or he is required to vacate the office of director, that is small shareholder director. Next question, small shareholder director can be appointed. That is, he is a person. He is telling that I can be appointed as a small shareholding director in A company and as well as B company. My question is, can a person hold directorship of small shareholder director in more than one company? The answer is yes. Maximum 2 companies they can hold that position. But this should be keep in mind. A is Airtel company, B is what? Idea. So this is what? Competing business. In that case, he cannot hold that post. That is, he can hold small shareholder director for a maximum 2 company, but it should be in mind that 2 companies should not or shall not engage in a business which is competing in nature. This is what? Section 151, appointment of director elected by small shareholder. So here we are moving towards section 152. It is about what? Section 152 about what? Appointment of director, first director, etc. Section 152, which is stating that, or first of all, when a company is incorporated, it is required to determine or it is required to check the articles of association. If articles of association has specified the manner in which the director to be appointed, in that case, they are what? First director. That is, if articles of association has provided the name of director to be appointed as the first director, then it will be deemed as, or it will be treated as what? They are the first director. Suppose if AOA has not specified the name, in that case they have to check whether articles of association provide the manner in which the first director to be appointed. If that manner is specified, then first director can be appointed by the said concerned company in that manner. Suppose if the articles of association has not provided the manner, so who will be the first director or who shall be the first director? In the case where articles of association has not provided or not specified the director or has not provided the manner in which the director should be appointed. In that case, subscribers to the memorandum of association shall treated as or they shall be deemed to be the first director of the company. So as per section 152, if the articles of association has selected the directors, then they shall be the first director of the company. If it is not decided or it is not provided, that is articles of association is not provided the name of director, then check whether the manner is provided. In case if the manner is provided, company is required to make the appointment as per the manner. Then in case if the manner is also not specified, then the subscribers to the memorandum of association shall be deemed to be the first director of the company. Then so X who want to get appointed as a director in ABC Limited. So before amendment, now we know that amendment is few amendments has already taken, which is applicable to our exam, right? So as per that, before amendment it was stated that a person who is not having a director identification number shall not be able to appoint as a director of the company. That is, suppose if a person is not having DIN, first of all he have to acquire the DIN, he have to purchase the DIN, or he have to make an application to the DIN as per section 153, and DIN will be allotted under section 154, right? So as after amendment it has been stated that X who is want to get appointed as a director in ABC Limited, first of all he may have what director that is director identification number, or he may have any other identification number, any other identification number, any other identification number under section 153. So it is stating that if a person is going require, or if he is wishing to appoint as a director of a company, he may have either director identification number which has been obtained to him as per section 154 after filing an application under section 153, or any other identification number which is specified under section 153. So section 153 is providing some other identification number. It means that, or section 153 is stating that central government may prescribe any other identification number. So section 153 is not specifically point outing the identification number. They are only stating that CG may prescribe any number as what other identification number. If a person who is having that other identification number is not required to acquire any director identification number, because such other identification number is deemed to be, or it is equal to DIN, equal to director identification number. So other identification number prescribed by CG equal to director identification number. I hope you understand it, because this is what a fresh amendment. Then suppose X who is not have a DIN, and as well as who is also not have what a director identification number, can he become director? No. In the present case, he cannot be appointed as a director. Suppose he is getting what that other identification number or director identification number. In that case, he is eligible to appoint as what director of ABC Limited, right? So suppose after X has acquired the same, that is X after few time or after few period, X has obtained DIN, or X is already have other identification number which has been prescribed by CG. In that case, X got appointment in ABC Limited as the director. So after appointment, he is required to furnish director identification number or other identification number and a declaration. That is, I am willing plus I have consented to appointed as the director of the company. The same should be filed within a period of 30 days with whom? ROC. So the director so appointed shall furnish a statement containing director identification number or other identification number and a declaration which shall be filed with ROC within a period of 30 days. Okay. Next. Section 152 subsection 6, we have already know that 152 is an important section. I have already covered an amendment which is stated that a person, if he going to be appointed as a director of a company, at least he should have director identification number or other identification number. Before amendment it was only DIN, but after amendment he may have any other identification number. In that case, that other identification number will be prescribed by CG. In case if he is holding such other identification number, he is not required to apply for director identification number. Okay, that is, that other identification number is equivalent to DIN, or it is equal DIN, or it is treated as DIN. Okay, section 152 subsection 6, it is stating that total number of directors A, B, C, D, E, F, G, that is, we have to take total number of director. Out of that total number of director, 2/3 shall be rotational director. So balance 1/3 is what? Non-rotational director. So these rotational director, what is the speciality of this rotational director? They have to retire by rotation. Out of the, that is total number of directors, out of that total number, 2/3 is rotational director. So 1/3 among these 2/3 should retire by rotation in each AGM. That is, after first AGM, the next AGM, and onwards, subsequent AGM, they, that is the rotational director, have to retire by rotation. Total 2/3 is rotational director. Out of that 2/3, sorry friends, 1 minute. Out of that 2/3, 1/3 should retire by rotation in each year. Then this total number of director is not include these category of director. We know that they have different types of director: nominee director, independent director, and what, alternate director, etc. So the total number of director, that is for the purpose of determination of the rotational director, total number of director is not include independent director, because we know that independent director shall be appointed in a company for a term of 5 years, and for the reappointment by another 5 years by passing what? Special resolution. Then director who is appointed by the central government. Central government may nominate any person as the director of a company. They are also not treated as what? Or they are not included for determining the rotational director. Alternate director. Alternate director shall hold the office till the time that is allotted to the original director, or when original director returns to India. Nominee director who has been appointed by or nominated by a public financial institution. So these category of directors are not included, or sorry, this category of directors are not included in the total director for the purpose of determining the rotational director. So 152 subsection 6 is stating that out of the total number of director, 2/3 is the rotational director. Out of that 2/3, 1/3 should retire by rotation. That rotation will be on the basis of first in first out. That is, FIFO method is applicable. Those who are longest in office shall retire first. Suppose there are 2 or more officers who is holding the office for the same time, or for the same time, or they appointed at the same time, and now the term has been, or they are they are holding the office for the same term. Okay, in that case, either there should be an agreement among them who will retire first. Otherwise, the same, in case if there is not an agreement in between them, the same shall be retired on the basis of lot. Okay. Next. So we know that out of the total number of director, 2/3 is rotational director. Out of that 2/3, 1/3 should retire by rotation in each year. So there will exist, that is, on that retirement there will be have what? Vacancy. The vacancy should be filled by the company, right? So section 152 subsection 7 is about what? Filling of that vacancy. Vacancy of retiring director. Such vacancy can be filled either by appointing a new director or reappointing the retiring director. That is, such a vacancy happening in the company because of retirement of director can be filled either by appointing a new director or by what? Reappointing the retiring director. Okay, suppose if the company has not filled up the vacancy, and AGM already over, they have not filled the vacancy. So in that case, plus they not expressively provided that not to fill the vacancy. They are not decided that we are not filling the vacancy. So AGM is held, plus they are not decided that not to fill the vacancy. In that case, the AGM will be stand adjourned to the same day, same time, same place. Same day, same time, same place. Did you understand? Suppose AGM is already over, but in that AGM no vacancy is filled up. In that case, the AGM will be stand adjourned to the same day, same time, same place. Suppose that same day, same time, same place was in the next week, right? In the next week. So it should be a day which is not a national holiday. Suppose it is a national holiday, August 15. In that case, it will be held on the succeeding day, which is not a national holiday. Okay? It should be a national holiday. Okay? So, if the AGM, it is not expressively resolved that not to fill the vacancy, the AGM stand adjourned to the same day, same time, same place. Suppose if it is a national holiday, the succeeding day, which is not a national holiday, that is same time, same place, same day in the next week. If it is a national holiday, succeeding day, which is not a national holiday. Then 152 is also stating that such a automatic reappointment is not applicable in the following case. In the AGM, they have passed a resolution, but it has been lost. Okay. The director, that is, suppose X was the director of the company, they has been retired, and the company is again proposing to make the reappointment of X. X is making a call and telling that actually I am not willing to continue as your director. Please don't reappoint me. So he is expressing his unwillingness or disqualified. Okay, disqualification to a director, we will study it as per section 164. They have what? Certain cases in which a person cannot be appointed as a director. Unsound mind, insolvent, etc. After retiring from the company, X become what? Mad. He is get abnormal, or he is started to show some mental disability. So it is treated as what? Unsound mind. If he is of unsound mind, he cannot be appointed as a director. So if he is disqualified as per section 164, then 167 or separate resolution. Sorry friends, 167, it is not important here, it is my mistake. Okay, then section 163, did you remember 163? It is stating that where A, B, C, D, E, these directors are required to be appointed at the same time, we cannot make such an appointment by passing what? A single resolution. It is required to pass separate resolution. So if it is required to issue separate resolution, then automatic reappointment is also not applicable. Okay, so this is what? Section 152. Friends, we are moving towards section 160 of the Companies Act, which is providing for appointment of a person other than retiring director. Here we are the company is proposing to appoint a person other than retiring director. So if the company is making an appointment which is not in according to section 160, that appointment shall be treated as void, or such appointment shall be invalid. Okay, so what should be complied as per section 160? Suppose if the company, this is the company which is going to propose a person P as the director, who is not a retiring director. In that case, it is the responsibility of the, it is required to file not less than 14 days notice with the registrar. That is, the same should be communicated with the registrar. Such a proposal can be made either by that concerned person, that is outsider, or it can be done by the members, board of directors, etc. of the company. So they have to file what? A not less than 14 days notice with the registered office of the company, plus along with what? A security deposit of 1 lakh rupee. But now there is have what? An amendment. After amendment, this 1 lakh rupee is not required if they are proposing a person to appoint as an independent director. or where such a proposal of director is made by the nomination remuneration committee. We know that the classes of company to which nomination remuneration committee is applicable. The same criteria that is applicable to section 177, that is audit committee. 10 crore, 100 crore, 50 crore, right? Then suppose, so there have different types of company for which the nomination remuneration committee is applicable and for which the nomination remuneration committee is not applicable. Suppose a company where nomination remuneration committee constitution is not required or it is not applicable, in that case board of director may also have the power to propose a person. So in that case also it is not required to take, or it is not required to deposit 1 lakh amount or such higher amount as may be prescribed by the government. As may be prescribed. So it is stating that these 1 lakh rupee is not required in case the proposal is required to for the appointment of an independent director, or such a proposal of director other than retiring director is made by the nomination remuneration committee or board of directors of a company where it is not required to constitute nomination remuneration committee. Okay, so before amendment such 1 lakh rupees applicable to each and every category, but after amendment what is happened, it is required only, it is not required in the following cases, that is appointment of independent director, appointment of a director as per the recommendation of nomination remuneration committee in case if the company is having nomination remuneration committee. But if the appointment is for a company for which the nomination remuneration committee is not applicable, in that case board of directors. Okay, then suppose they have collected 1 lakh rupee. The next question is, can this 1 lakh rupee refunded, whether it can be refunded to the director or the person to whom proposal has been made. So such a refund can be done only if he has been selected as the director. That is, if he has been selected as the director. Okay, if he has been selected as the director, or if he is getting not less than 25%, more than 25% of the total vote, then he can get the refund of amount that he have been already deposited. So section 160 is stating that appointment of a person other than retiring director, proposal can be made and the notice have to be sent to the registrar along with the security deposit of 1 lakh. But after amendment such 1 lakh is not required if the proposal is for the appointment of an independent director or a person as director as per the recommendation of nomination remuneration committee, or a person which has been recommended by the board of directors of a company where constitution of nomination remuneration committee is not required. Then in case if they collected 1 lakh rupee or such higher amount as may be prescribed, the amount shall be refunded to the concerned person if he has been selected as the director of the company, or if he is getting more than 25% of the total valid vote. Okay, then yes, section 161. Section 161. It is about what? Appointment of director, that is additional director, alternate director, nominee director and casual vacancy. So they have 161.1, 161.2, 161.3, 161.4. Additional, alternate, nominee, casual vacancy. Right? So section 161 subsection 1 is about appointment of additional director. When a company can make the appointment of an additional director, actually when we employ some additional person to complete our work, when there is some overload of work, so the company is also authorized to make the appointment of additional director only if it is authorized in the articles of association. It can be done only if this has been authorized in the articles of association. And after that, company is also required to pass board resolution. That is, the resolution can be either in the board meeting or it can be by circulation. So first of all, for the purpose of appointment and additional director, the permission or authorization of articles of association is required, plus the company is required to pass a board resolution. It can be either in board meeting or it can be either by resolution by circulation, right? So my question, can a company make the appointment of an additional director if it is not authorized by the articles of association only by passing a board resolution in the board meeting? Not possible, because here authorization of articles is compulsory for the purpose of appointment of additional director. Then suppose company is proposing Mr. X as additional director, but few members notified that. So here what, this section 161, 161 subsection 2, 161 subsection 3, 161 subsection 4, this appointment of director is done by the board of directors, not by the members. You should remember that. Okay, so suppose Mr. X has been proposed by the director, or they are going to appoint X as the additional director of the company, but same X was not qualified to get appointment as appointed as a director in general meeting. So can the company, that the board of directors, appoint X who was disqualified to get appointment as a director in the general meeting as additional director? The question is, I hope you understand what is the question. It is stating that, or it is, I am asking you that, can board of director of a company make the appointment of a person as director who is disqualified to get appointed as a director? Sorry, can board of director of a company make the appointment of a person as additional director if that person not qualified or disqualified to get appointed as a director at the general meeting? So he was disqualified to appoint as a director in the general meeting. Can he appointed as additional director? The answer is no. If a person who is disqualified to get appointed as a director in the general meeting cannot be appointed as the additional director. Okay, then tenure of additional director. Additional director of the company may hold the office till the next AGM or the day in which, suppose the AGM has not held, or the day in which the AGM to be held, whichever is earlier. Suppose the AGM date was 17 July. AGM not held. Additional director is telling that no, I will not vacate my office because the AGM is not held, and the AGM held on 18th. So as per our provision, he required to vacate as on 14th. It was the proposed day in which the AGM to be held by the company, but unfortunately company was not in a position to hold the AGM on that date. They are subsequently conducted the AGM, but director, that is additional director, have to vacate either as on the date of AGM or the AGM date proposed, whichever is earlier. Okay, so here we completed section 161 subsection 1. Moving towards section 161 subsection 2. It is about what? Alternate director. Alternate director means I want X, but X is not currently available, so I will take what? Y. The same is happening here. Alternate director. Director appointed to replace or to overcoming or not or to fill the vacancy of what? Any other director. It is not casual vacancy. We are alternately select. This is what? A substitute. Originally is not available, so we are selecting what? A substitute or substitute product. Okay, so such an alternate director can be appointed by the company if is authorized by the articles of association. Suppose if it is not authorized by the articles of association, in that case they can make the appointment of alternate director by passing a resolution in the general meeting. So alternate director can be appointed by the board of directors of a company either by passing a resolution in the general meeting, or what, if it has been authorized by the articles of association. Suppose it is not authorized by the articles of association, authorized in the articles of association. So can the company make the appointment of alternate director? Answer is yes, by passing what? A resolution in general meeting. AOA has been already permitted the same, so is it required to pass the resolution? No, because articles of association is already giving what? The permission to make the appointment of alternate director. So when can a company make the appointment of alternate director? When original director is absent from India for a period of not less than 3 months. That is, suppose original director X who is absent from India for a period of 3 years, so not years, month, okay, 3 months or more. In that case, company can appoint alternate director. Okay, so it is stating that alternate director can be appointed by a company only if it is authorized by the articles of association or by passing a resolution in the general meeting, and such appointment can be done only if the original director is absent from India for a period of not less than 3 months. That is 3 months or more than 3 months. In that case, company can appoint. Here also have what amendment. Before discussing amendment, okay, my question, X is not available in the company. So I am proposing to appoint Y as the alternate director. But Y is already representing Z, who is the original director, but who is also absent from India for a period of not less than 3 months. So can Y selected? So can the company or board of directors appoint Y to represent both Z and X? The answer is no. It is stating that if a person already holding alternate directorship in the company, then they cannot appoint it as the alternate director to represent the other original director. Did you get? That is, alternate director cannot be a person who is already holding alternate directorship. It means that Y, who is already appointed as an alternate director for representing Z, cannot be appointed as the alternate director to represent X, because Y can hold only one alternate directorship in the company. So here there is also have some amendment. Amendment is stating that this is the amendment. Okay. It is stating that suppose X is absent from India. I am going to appoint what? M. I am going to appoint M. But M is already a director of the company. So can I appoint M as the director? Alternate director. So amendment given the answer. It is stating that no person can be appointed as an alternate director who is holding directorship in the company, who is already holding directorship in the company. It means that, friends, I will show you. This is the amendment, okay? So, which is stated that no person shall be appointed as the alternate director if he is holding directorship in the company. Suppose X, I want to appoint a person to represent Mr. X. So I have selected M, who is already a director. I thought that it will be easier to make the appointment of M, because who is already a director, who have enough knowledge with the company. So I am selecting M. So the amendment is telling me, no, don't do. You are not permitted to do so. That is, you can't select a person as alternate director of a company if he is holding directorship. Plus, before amendment, it has been already stated that no person shall be appointed as an alternate director to represent two original director. That is, X is absent from company and Y is absent from company for a term not less than 3 months, and we are going to appoint Q as the alternate director to represent both X and Y. This is also not permissible. Okay, then next question is what? Period of office of alternate director. It is what? When original director comes to India, that is returns to India, or term of original director, whichever is earlier. Suppose after the expiry of 3 months, we are appointing an alternate director. The next day, the original director is coming. So he can't state that, or he can't argue that I got appointment yesterday, I will not vacate the office. He have to vacate the office. That is, he have to vacate the office when original director comes to India or term of original director expires, whichever is earlier. Okay, then reappointment provision is not applicable. We have already stated that as per section 152 while determining the rotational director. I think that is 152 subsection 6, where it is stated that for the purpose of determining the total director, for reckoning the rotational director, we will not take independent director, then what? A director which has been nominated by the central government, alternate director, and nominee director, which has been nominated by a public financial institution. Okay, so reappointment is also not applicable to alternate director. Okay, then so here we completed 161 subsection 1, 161 subsection 2. Moving towards 161 subsection 3. It is about 161 subsection 3, nominee director. Nominee means I am nominating one person. Can I nominate a person as the director of a company? No. It can be, or the board of directors of a company shall make the appointment of a nominee director subject to the provisions of articles of association or by virtue of any agreement for ensuring compliance with law and regulation, or by virtue of shareholding by central government or state government. So such a nomination can be either on the basis of an agreement or to ensure compliance with law, or it can be done by the central government, state government, because they have shareholding in the company. So all these appointment can be done by the board of directors only after or only after ensuring what compliance with the articles of association. This is what section 161 subsection 3. There is not have any amendment. Okay, then next is what? Next is 161 subsection 4. It is casual vacancy. We know that casual vacancy, resignation, death, retirement, these result what? Casual vacancy. So in casual vacancy also there is have what? Amendment. Before amendment, casual vacancy was only, that is the provisions of section 161 subsection 4 is applicable to public company. But after amendment, provisions of section 161 subsection 4 is applicable to all companies. So 161 subsection 4 is about what? Casual vacancy. So it is stating that a director has been appointed in general meeting, but there is happening what? A vacancy, or he is vacating from the office before expiry of term because of some disqualification, he or any retirement, etc. So before expiry of term, there is happening what? A vacancy in the office of original director. So that vacancy is deemed to be casual vacancy, which shall be filled by the board of directors. It is the responsibility of the board of directors to fill the vacancy by appointing another director at the board meeting. So 161 subsection 1, 161 subsection 2, 161 subsection 3, 161 subsection 4, that is additional, alternate, nominee, casual vacancy. These appointment is done by the board of directors. Okay, then term of original director, that is term of director who has been appointed to fill the casual vacancy equal to the term that is the term of original director. That is, original director was responsible to vacate the office after 2 years, and he has been vacated office before expiry of the term. Some other director has been appointed by the board of directors. That other director who has been appointed to fill the casual vacancy is required to vacate the office on expiry of the remaining 2 years. So term of the director who has been appointed to fill the casual vacancy equal to term of original director. He is required to vacate the office on expiry of the term that was applicable to the original director. So here we completed what section 149 to 161. Okay friends.